First look at Derpfest ROM based on Android 11, the official beta from May 2021 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and we have Derpfest in the building. Android version of course is 11, security patch May 2021. This is the official beta, all thanks to the maintainer Aman Singh. The kernel they are using is Optimus. Drunk build is from May 13th, and SE Linux of course is set as enforcing. So this is how the ROM comes out of the box. You do have GApps and Pixel Launcher baked in. So here it is, select, works without any issues. Screenshot, bam, there it is. You can take a screenshot. They have added the additional delete option as well. Let us have a look at our Google feed, and as you can see, no jitters and no lags. Everything is pretty smooth out here. Then let us have a look at the volume panel. So this is how your volume panel looks like, and of course you can change to different type of volume panels on this ROM. Next thing, here is your quick settings panel, and as you can see, we do have custom icons for the quick settings panel as well, and you also have the option of notification history moved to the right hand side so that it is easier for right-handed users. As for the tiles, here are the different tiles which are available on this ROM, and if you tap on edit, you can of course add more tiles, and here are the other tiles which you can add. If you tap on the three dot menu on the top right, the only option you have is to reset. Now next thing, before I forget, you do have the option of changing this option wherein it shows you how long your battery is going to last, and of course it is a bit cut out, so in my opinion they should move it down here in the quick settings panel instead of it being in the notch. Anyways, let us go ahead and start the Android 11 screen recorder. Of course, as you can see, they have moved the panel down and you can record your audio and microphone at the same time, and in case you want to save some space and lower the quality, they have also added a toggle for that. Let us go ahead and start the screen recording. Now once the screen recording has started, what we do is we check the UI for any lags or any jitters in the UI when the screen recording is going on, and that, my friends, is not the case over here. Everything is very smooth and very fast. Let us go ahead and stop it. Next up, let us have a look at our recents. So here it is. This is how the recents look like. Press and hold on any application icon, and the options you have are app info and split screen. For the settings, let us try YouTube. So you do have the option of pausing the application in case you want to. Next up, let us have a look at the power menu. So bam, here it is. Android 11 Easter egg works, and this is how your power menu looks like. You can of course add multiple icons in case you want to your power menu. And it looks like we just got a cat. So here it is, cat in the building, which shows that Android 11 Bubbles works without any issues. Of course, Bubbles is not supported, or WhatsApp does not support Android 11 Bubbles right now, before you ask that question. Next up, if you go into network and internet, tap on the Wi-Fi name, tap on it one more time, you have the option to disconnect. Then you can also configure to auto connect on a per Wi-Fi basis. And they have also added adaptive connectivity. So back into network and internet, adaptive connectivity is there, which increases your battery life and improves device performance by automatically managing your network connections. This, I think, is a Pixel 5 exclusive feature which is now present in Derpfest on your Poco F1. Next up, let us go over to apps and notification, see all apps. Let us select a browser application. So the default browser in this one is DuckDuckGo. Go into permissions, and here it is. You have a new option for sensors, and then you can also enable the toggle to remove the permissions if the application is not used for some time, and that duration I think is 90 days. So after 90 days the permissions will reset. Go into mobile data and Wi-Fi, and yes, you do have per app network isolation baked into the ROM as well. Then you also have priority conversations working without any issues. We already talked about notification history and bubbles, and then you also have screen time, app compatibility changes in case you want to do that unfortunately no applications are available on my device right now. Moving over to battery. So in battery you do have per app thermal profiles which are available, and here are the different options which are available. And yes, you do have audio FX equalizer baked into the ROM as well. Then you have battery saver, and extreme battery saver is present. Feel free to pause and read, and you can of course configure it, when do you want to use it, and what are the essential apps which you want to set up. Other than that, you also can set a schedule based on your routine or your percentage. Now this is your normal battery saver, not the extreme one. And if your device is charged at 90%, you can turn it off using this toggle. Adaptive battery is present. Other than that, you also have the option of configuring your battery light. Do note the LED on the Poco F1 at the bottom does not blink and it is white only, so no RGBs. And then in case you want to block apps from accessing certain battery draining sensors, you have options for that as well. You can of course add apps to the sensor block in case you want to. Other than that, you have your last full charge, screen usage since last full charge, and battery temperature. Right now it is showing us 28°C. Moving over to display. In display, for starters, you can customize your lock screen notification on the lock screen. What all content do you want to see? Do you want to add a custom text on your lock screen? Then, do you want to prevent accidental wake up, fingerprint, unlock? This is a toggle to, let's say, you want to skip entering the PIN when you reboot your device. I personally do not recommend you to enable this toggle. Then, if you want AOD, you have a toggle for that, or if you want AOD when charging, you have a toggle for that as well. Double tap to check the phone, that is going to pulse your notifications. Then do you want to wake the screen for new notifications? Go into advanced. Herein you can configure your ambient, which does include AOD, pickup, hand wave, and pocket. You also have ambient music ticker along with the option to configure wherein you want to see the ambient music ticker and if you want ambient wake gestures or not. Live display is present. You can change the color profile, display mode, color temperature, and then you can calibrate your RGBs. You also have the option to reset in case you mess up, and you can also change your hue, saturation, intensity, and contrast. So this has to be the most feature rich live display that I have seen in a custom ROM. Go into styles and wallpapers, bam, here it is, almost 11 themes baked in. And if you want to add a custom one, you have a bunch of different fonts which are available. Then for the icons, here it is. Multiple icons are available as well. Accent colors, here are the different accent colors which are baked into the ROM. And then you can choose your UI style as well. So here are the different options for the UI style, and you can also change the icon shapes. Once that is done, give it a name and apply it, and you should be good to go. So a bunch of different options in theming section. Then let us go back. If you go into wallpaper, you do have different wallpapers which are present, and you do have the pretty cool looking default wallpaper as well. Go into clock and you have a bunch of different options for the lock screen clock as well. And of course you do get a preview of all these clocks over here. Feel free to apply whichever one you like. Then you can change your screen timeout. A toggle for auto rotate screen, double tap to wake is present. A toggle to enable or disable the blurs in case you want to force apps to ignore the notch space, option for that. Then you can configure your font size, display size, the DPI. You have a toggle to enable the dark theme, and if you tap on dark theme you can now schedule it based on a custom time as well in case you want to do that. Again, lock screen clock customization. Switch style, so right now we are using the OnePlus style switches. These are the different options which you have, and let us change over to Oxygen OS 11 for now. Here it is, the switch was changed. Then you can change your settings and dashboard icons. You have multiple options for that as well, and this is going to change the style which you see on the settings page. So again, a lot of customization is present in Derpfest. Then accent colors are present. Here is the list. We already talked about this. Then you can change your fonts. So you do have a bunch of different fonts which are present in Derpfest. You can change the icon shape as well, and the icon pack can also be changed. Next up we have sound. So in sound you can of course configure your different volumes. Then you have a toggle to link and delink your ring and notification volumes. In case you want increasing ring volume, you have a toggle for that. Once you enable that, you can configure your start volume and the ramp up time. You do have the ringtone vibration patterns from Oxygen OS, and other than that, you can configure whether you want to see the media player, and you can choose it on a per app basis. The media player which we're talking about here is the media player in quick settings. Then you have toggles for all these different options which you see on your screen right now. Next up, we can jump over to security. So in security, you do have your normal screen lock, which can be pin, pattern, or swipe. Now with pin, you also have the option of scrambling your pin, which I think is a pretty nifty feature. Other than that, you have IR face unlock, works without any issues, and you also have app lock, which also works without any issues. Nothing much to talk about in system because all those settings have been moved to Derpfest customizer section, but you do have Derpfest updater present over here, and you can tap on the refresh button to check for updates manually. Next up, let us move over to Derpfest section. The first option we have here is power button. Do note we are in the actions section, and you do have different sections, and those animations are pretty cool. Anyways, so power button, if you want advanced reboot, you have a toggle for that. Then you have the optional user action. Right now it is set as screenshot, so here it is, screenshot, the fourth option on your screen right now. Let us change this and say I want screen record, and bam, there it is. You can see it now changes to screen record, so a pretty nifty feature to have. Then you have navigation. Do you want to enable the navigation bar? And here are your navigation gesture options. We are using the Android 11 style gestures. In case you want to use 2 button or 3 button, you have those options. But if you go into the settings for the gestures, you can configure the sensitivity for the left and the right edge. Then you can configure the dead zone. In case you want to hide the pill, you have a toggle for that. You can configure your gesture bar length, radius, haptic feedback. Do you want to see the back arrow or not? You have a toggle to enable and disable that option as well. And if you go into advanced gestures, you can configure your extended swipe action. So let us configure the long left swipe action, and let us say I want to take a screenshot. So here it is, it changes to 2 arrows, and bam, it should now take a screenshot, and it did not work. Let us try it one more time. Yep, there it is. Now it is working, and yes, you do have long screenshots baked into the ROM. Next option we have over here is gestures. So activate the torch when the screen is off. You have the option for that. Quickly open the camera by pressing the power button twice. Power menu, do you want to see the device controls? And device controls are this cat controls which you see right now. In case you have any smart devices, they will show up over here below the cat controls. Then in case you want to prevent ringing by pressing power and volume up together, you have 3 different options: vibrate, mute, and cycle through the different modes. Then in case you want to long press the volume rockers to skip the tracks, you have the option for that as well. Then you can adjust the brightness by sliding across the status bar. There it is, you can see, works without any issues. Switch screen off. So double tap to sleep on the lock screen. Swipe to screenshot. 3-finger screenshot is present and works without any issues. Then you also have adaptive playback. In case you want to know what adaptive playback does, feel free to pause and read the content on your screen right now. Next up, we have customization for the volume rockers. So here it is, you can change your volume panel style, and you do have a bunch of different options which are available. In case you want to move the volume panel to the left, you have a toggle for that. You want to see app volume, and in case you want to swap the volume buttons when rotating the device to landscape, you have a toggle for that as well. Next up, let us move over to the interface section, and for starters you can customize your quick settings quick pull down. For me, I have set it to right hand side. Swipe down from the right, bam, it is expanded. Swipe from the left, it is not expanded. Then you can change the tile style. I have set it as divided circle, but you do have a bunch of different options which are available. Then you can configure the opacity and the notification background alpha for the quick settings panel. In case you want to have a custom header for your quick settings panel, you have a toggle for that as well, and you have different image providers along with what collection you want to use, and then you can browse it. Let us set this one, header image set, and nothing changed, so I think we might need a system UI restart. So let us go into restart and wait for the device to reboot. Have a look at that clock. Doesn't it look pretty dope? Next up, let us see if we got the custom header image or not. So I think that might be a bug and it is not working right now. Let us try it one more time. Here it is. Oh, okay. All right. I was being a noob. So you get the custom header image when you expand your quick settings panel. You do not get it right away. You see it in your expanded panel. I mean, me personally, I would prefer it to see it over here without expanding it as well, but it is what it is. Then you can also change a few more things. So you can change your status bar opacity and the gradient. You have a toggle for that. Moving over to themer. So we already discussed this section and we're going to skip it for now. Then you can configure your heads up. So heads up notifications are enabled. You can change the timeout for your heads up notifications. You can change the snooze timer. If you want essential only mode, wherein you will only get heads up for incoming calls, text, and alarm, you have a toggle for that. And then you can add and remove applications which show heads up notifications. Then you have your navbar pulse equalizer, which you can see on your lock screen. You can change the render mode. You can change the smoothing, what is the color mode you're looking for. All those options are present for your equalizer on the lock screen, and it does look pretty dope. Next up, let us move over to the status bar customization, and first up, battery style. So you have text, icon, portrait, circle, dotted circle. Then if you are using something other than text, where do you want the battery percentage? Inside, hidden next to the icon. Then this is the option which I was talking about. Right now it is telling me my phone will last until a specific time. If I enable this toggle, it should just show me the battery percentage on the top right of your quick settings. Then if you want a battery bar, you have the option for that along with customization for your battery bar. Then you can customize your clock. So for starters, you have a master toggle to enable or disable the clock. Then if you want to hide it on the home screen, you have a toggle for that. Your AM PM style, do you want to see the date? Once you enable the date, you can change your date style, date format, and you can also change the date position from right of time or you want left of time. Network indicator is present. You have a master toggle. Do you want to see it all the time? You have a toggle for that, and then you can configure the activity threshold for your network indicator. Then you can configure your status bar items. Do you want to see the notification count? You have a toggle for that. Do you want to see a custom logo in your status bar? Master toggle. And then where do you want the logo? Do you want it left or right? And what is the logo style you're looking for? Let us troll and use the Apple style for now. Then you can enable or disable your carrier label, and you have customization for your carrier label as well. System icons, what all icons you want to see in your status bar. Then we have customization for what I am assuming is the lock screen. So herein you have your weather options. Do you want to see the weather conditions? What is the weather style you want? Omni style or pixel style? Do you want to see the city name? Do you want to see the temperature? And you can configure your weather service, and you can also configure your weather icon pack as well. So here it is, condition icon pack. Different options are available for that as well. Then you have general options for your lock screen. So do you want to display the status bar on the lock screen? Do you want to hide the lock icon? Do you want to see lock screen charging info in case you want to schedule your AOD? or always on display, you have the option for that as well. What is the screen of animation you're looking for, default, CRT, or scale? Then you can configure your lock screen media art along with the blur level once you enable the toggle. Then you have font options for your lock screen. What is the date font you want for your lock screen? Do you want AOD icons on the lock screen, and what are the color of the AOD icon? Once you enable the toggle, you can configure the AOD icon size as well. So a bunch of customization there. Then you have miscellaneous. So you have general notification. Do you want screen edge lighting? Yes, the edge will light up when you get notifications. Gaming mode is present. Once you enable it, you can configure your hide or heads up notifications. Do you want to disable automatic brightness? What do you want to do with the ringer when you switch over to gaming mode? Do you want a toast notification, a toast and notification? So customization for that. Do you want to add apps automatically to the gaming mode, or do you want to add apps manually? You have all those options. Then you have your in-call vibration options. So vibrate on connect, disconnect, and call waiting. Now in terms of the apps which come baked in with this ROM, so you do have audio effects, you have camera go, default browser is DuckDuckGo. Then the only apps which I have installed are Magisk and YouTube. While we are on the topic of Magisk, let us check for safety net. Here it is, you can see safety net is passing without any issues. Do note, device is not rooted using latest Magisk version 23.0. We can also go to the Google Play Store and check whether the device is certified or not. So here it is, Play Protect certification, device is certified. This means you should be able to use your banking apps without any issues. In terms of YouTube media playback, everything works absolutely fine. Live caption works, picture in picture works. Of course, for picture in picture to work, either you need to have YouTube Premium or you need to be in a specific country in case you do not want to pay for YouTube Premium. Let us check whether Hey Google is working or not. So as you can see on your screen right now, Hey Google works with the screen turned on. Let us turn the screen off. Hey Google, are you awake? So this has been a hit or a miss for me, and sometimes it works with the screen turned off and sometimes it doesn't. So this might be a minor issue in this build. In terms of app opening animations, as you can see, we have no jitters and no lags. Everything is pretty smooth. Recents, bam, super fast and super smooth. No jitters, no lags there. Google Feed, again, no jitters and no lags in that respect either. And before I forget, I do need to check for the portrait light feature. So I did install Google Photos. Here it is, a picture of my favorite football star. And let us try to edit it. Wait for this loading bar to finish. And then we can go into portrait and then go into adjust. Bam, here it is. Portrait light feature is present, and as you can see, it works without any issues. In terms of your widevine L1, I'm not even going to care to check it because everybody knows L1 is broken on the Poco F1, on Netflix, and now on Amazon Prime HD as well. So all in all, another great build, and the ROM is pretty smooth in my opinion. Everything is fast, and I haven't noticed any excessive battery drain either. There it is, peeps. That was our first look at Derpfest ROM based on Android 11 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. And that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares, and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.